Alright, what is going on YouTube? So today is I really wanted to just have a conversation with you guys, right? As I'm sitting here, well not sitting, but standing here, getting myself to have breakfast this morning, okay? So this morning I'm gonna make me like my two famous wraps, okay? Two famous wraps. So we got some peppers here, got 3 eggs here, and then from here, you can see I got 2 things of spinach. Well, this is about to be done. I don't know why I saved this. I should have just done it in the last one. But spinach, and then in the thing at the bottom, I got some grilled chicken, right? So as I'm going through this, we're gonna be talking about nutrition because a lot of us, that is one area that we tend to struggle with. Mostly because, we think that meal prep and meals have to be some big extravagant meal. Oh, let me see if this trick works. Hold on. Yo, check this out. So you crack 2 eggs together. Yeah, and then the weakest one, basically, the shell cracks. That is crazy, and apparently that's the right way to crack an egg. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So, because a lot of us think that meals have to be some big, extravagant, super meal. You know what I'm saying? Like look-wise, like it has to be 5-star, and it's something that I get tired of. And also the other thing is, people get tired of eating the same things and all this other stuff, right? I'm here to show you guys that your meals throughout the day do not have to be boring. Well, they're gonna have to be boring for a while, but to show you that your meals don't have to be 5-star. In the meantime, here's something that I do to help you guys. This is what I do in the mornings to basically help yourself out, right? After I do all this mixing and whatnot, I take the chicken out, start chopping it. Basically, I start drinking water. So y'all see this big jug right here? this bad boy right here? Yeah, that's my water bottle. So you want to kickstart your metabolism every morning. All right, so you don't want to just wake up out of bed and down a whole thing of coffee or a whole thing of sugar. Like, you don't want to just automatically just put juice into your body after your body basically being dehydrated all night. And the main thing there is just you got to make a better and conscious choice, right? So it's like you say you want to lose weight, put on muscle, be more athletic, whatever it is, right? Drop the body fat percentage, eat better, just overall feeling better body-wise. You gotta look at the choices that you're making, right? If you're someone who is, let's just say, someone like me, right? Back in the day, let's just take me for example, right? If you're someone like me from like when I was in high school and college and whatnot, and you were getting up in the morning, not really having like a real meal, you would have like 2 or 3 corn muffins, or you wake up, have 1 or 2 donuts with OJ, and then water was kind of like the last resort, and then you're running up and down the court, you're feeling pretty good, but then after a few times you were practicing or you were playing games or whatever, and then you found yourself super dehydrated, and you found yourself, once you got some water, you went ahead and you guzzled it down, right? Why is that? Body's dehydrated, you're dehydrated, your body is letting you know exactly what it needs. So you gotta pay attention to the signs, right? And then, listen, granted, back in the day, I didn't have the best people around me to help me out with nutrition. And honestly, I felt like I was at my best when I feel like I'm at my best now, but back then, I thought I was fine. As long as I got some fuel in me, like some carbs to help me get up and down the court, which is the main energy source. As an athlete, carbs is your friend. That's the energy system you want to tap into, right? You want to tap into those glycogens, right? But in the same token, you're harming yourself when it comes to the recovery aspect. So you can do the stretching, you can do the mobility, you can do practically anything to help get yourself back normal so you don't feel as sore. But in the same token, it's like you're not putting all the nutrients in that you need. And that's the one thing that I had to learn as I was getting older, right? As me getting into the field, personal training, diving into the nutrition aspect of it, like my body drastically changed. So I'll probably put it somewhere over here. Now that I said that, probably put it somewhere over here. You'll see it pop up or something. Of like my befores and afters. Like my body went through a dramatic change. And the more that I saw that change, because I started to get my visible abs, I dropped a lot of the body fat percentage that I had. I was working out way more. Even though, not to say I wasn't working out, but I was like strength training way more. Because, you know, I ain't gonna lie. And as much as people told me this, the one thing that us basketball players think is gonna happen is if we lift too much, it's gonna throw our jump shot off. Let that sink in. It's not gonna throw the jump shot off. If anything, you have to put the reps in still regardless. So you lifting heavy, so you bench, let's say you bench pressing that day, or just lifting heavy dumbbells, doing chest press, doing back rows, doing some shoulders, and then you go out on the court and you try to shoot. Yeah, it's gonna feel weird as hell afterwards, directly afterwards, but it's the repetition. But also, getting stronger stretches out your jump shot too as well. So it means you're getting stronger in the right areas. So like your shoulders, your biceps, tricep, everything that putting this into motion for your jump shot is helping you get more range. Prime example, Damian Lillard. He was walking up on the 3-point line and they was trapping him at the 3-point line. Why is that? Mostly because they already knew like he was a deep ball threat, right? He could shoot the three, he'd put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, play, make, create, all of that, all the fun stuff, right? But when defenses started to pick up on him, they started to blitz him off the screen. So I know a lot of y'all probably don't even know what I'm talking about here, basketball terms and stuff. So what I'm saying is, one man was being defended by two. So what did Dame have to do with it? He got in the off season, he got stronger, he started shooting from further out. That's why he's able to hit the deep 3-point ball, right? Back then, working out was still relatively new. And what I mean by that is, not everyone wanted to get in the weight room. Not everyone wanted to get stronger because they felt like there was in a place in their game where they felt like they were good. They didn't need the extra quote-unquote bulkiness. Mind you, you're not gonna get bulky because you're not on a bodybuilding program. Unless you're, you know, a rookie coming into the league where you have to put on some size, put on some muscle mass. But all in all, it's not gonna change how you play or how you move. Yes, bigger, faster, stronger is a thing, but it depends on how much bigger and how much stronger you get. Because you gotta think about it. The bigger you get, the less speed you're gonna have, the less agility you're gonna have. It's gonna take a lot more to move your body around. So as long as you're in the weight room lifting just as much as you're, you know, doing your plyometrics and doing your stretching, your mobility, you know, sprinting, jog conditioning, like you're not gonna get as big and bulky as you think. What's gonna happen is, it's the look of it. So what's gonna happen is, you're gonna be, what am I looking for here? A lot leaner, and you're gonna have a little more size to you, so it's gonna look like you were bodybuilding in the off season, right? No, no, it's the image. It's just the image. But if you're going if you're going about it the right way with the perfect, I don't want to say perfect, but with the right strength and conditioning program, then you'll see the difference. So bringing it back around to nutrition, right? Even though I didn't really get off the topic here, but bringing it back around to nutrition, if you got a goal here, right? Let's say you're a non-athlete and you're someone who's like, I need to drop the body fat. I'm trying to get snatched by the summer. Ladies, fellas, hey, I want to be able to walk around my shirt off and not have this good sitting. Right. Please understand this. You cannot out-train a bad diet. It won't work. It won't work. So you gotta, it starts in the kitchen. Like, I don't give a damn how many like what people say on the internet, influencers that you may follow, the right person on the internet is gonna tell you, yo, you gotta eat like this for a while. You gotta detrain, untrain your body from all the negative stuff that you was putting into it. So if you were someone who was going out drinking all night and day, what do you think is gonna happen? Your body is gonna adapt to that. The body is smart. Your body is smart. So if you're sitting there and you're going out to the club every weekend, so you're drinking, consuming empty ass calories, what do you think is gonna happen? It's just gonna sit there. You gotta think about it. For your body to metabolize any kind of liquor or even wine, it's gonna take you having to work twice as hard, triple as hard for it to even metabolize. Because what happens is the liquor stays in your body up to, I wanna say roughly around 3-4 days after. So depending on how much you drinking, yeah. So let's say you drink on Saturday night, now you got it. And then you had a little something again on Sunday because you know you're watching football or you're watching a sporting event, right? Sunday football, so you grabbing yourself a beer, you hanging with friends, or you getting some kind of liquor or some kind of drink right while you're watching the game. So you went out Saturday night, you get a drink watching football, so you're sitting on the couch, still not active this weekend, and next thing you know, you turn around, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and let's just say Thursday. And let's say Friday night you get paid, and next thing you know you go and hang out with some friends for happy hour after work. You see what I'm saying? So the liquor and all of that, it just stays in your body. It just accumulates over time. Look at it, it's like, damn, why am I not getting to my goal? What's going on? Like, I'm working out hard. So why am I not where I want to be? Because you got to make a lifestyle change. You got to make the lifestyle change. Once you realize, like, once you take oh my God, I can't even speak. Once you take a step back and look at all of the habits and things that you're doing, it's like, damn, I'm shelling out a lot of money doing this, and I'm doing all of these activities, which is nothing wrong with going out. There's nothing wrong with going out, but you also gotta realize when, you know, how to get back on track. But when you start looking at all these things that you're doing, then it's like, oh, that's what it is. So let me give you a little personal story about me. Something I really don't I don't mind sharing it, but I just don't share it too often, mostly because it's just whatever, it never really comes up. I was in a crazy relationship at a point in my life, right? And then also life was lifing, but this was all during the time where I was trying to make it to the NBA, right? So I'm going through these tryouts with the D League at the time, now known as the G League. But I was going out with friends a lot, going out drinking all the time, you know what I mean? Dancing, hanging out late. My sleep was definitely poopy. Like, my sleep was non-existent, but I was able to function off of 4, maybe 5 hours of sleep, if even that sometimes. As I say, if I didn't go out, I would stay up late till like 1 in the morning, try to get some sleep, get up at 6, try to be to work at 7. So you see where I didn't give myself enough time to do things. Unlike I do now. Now I got a whole routine that I stick to. Or at least I've been trying to stick to lately, because side note, my sleep has been a little up and down lately due to a lot of multiple things that's on my brain. But anyway, my sleep was in the drain, it was in the toilet, but I was still able to function. It was one of those things where I was going out, drinking, suppressing problems, working hard. You know, I just drowned myself with work, more work, just to like take my mind off a lot of things. So I drowned myself in a lot of work. So it was like, yeah, I'm getting results and I'm, you know, doing what I'm doing, but I'm not accelerating where I see most of my other competitors, or like a gym bro in the gym, like how he's making progress now. He's building the muscle, yeah, I'm getting the muscle, but I still kind of got like this, I still kind of got like a little roundness to my stomach. It's not completely flat. So mind you, around that time, it's like I'm what, 175, 180-ish, but it look a lot different. See, right now, as I stand here in front of you, look a little different now, don't it? Like I'm 186 right now. So that's the difference. Back to the story. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm doing all these habits. I'm drinking a lot, low-key depressed, not realizing it till after, moving out of New York. Like I was really depressed. As a matter of fact, even before I moved out of New York, like I was depressed and always worrying about when this is happening, when that's going to take place. Like, why am I not here and why am I not there because everybody else? Like, I had to do a lot of internal work. So I'm like, okay, nutrition is the big thing. I'm like, okay, so life after basketball now is like, okay, how and where can I start making changes? All right, well, I can't go out all the time. I want to, go out and socialize, but I can't do it every weekend. You get what I'm saying? That right there was the key. Can't do it every weekend. Shit. Doing it every weekend is gonna put me behind the 8 ball. So did that, changed that around. I love my homies. They always gonna be my homies. But sometimes you gotta cut old habits to then proceed forward. Like, still gonna stay in touch, still gonna do all the things, but I had to stop personally. And then on top of that, you gotta do the inner work. You gotta assess things, right? So trying to figure out why my mood is so like up and down, right? All in all, what I'm basically getting at is you gotta change your lifestyle around. You gotta look at what your daily habits, right? And if what you're doing in your lifestyle doesn't match where you want to be at, you gotta cut that off. I'm not saying like, you're grown, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I'm telling you, but I'm just giving you the keys here to be like, look, you really gotta look at yourself and be like, damn, I really took this route here, this is what I've been doing, this is where I wanna go, but this is what's holding me back a little bit. You get what I'm saying? So once I did the inner work and changed the lifestyle around and got myself right, next thing you know, results start to come. And then the more knowledge I got about working out and how the body works and everything like that, you start looking at yourself and you're saying like, okay, I like what I see here. I like it a lot. And it's all about a lifestyle change. Now, moving into meal prepping. I never meal prepped, but I damn for sure do now because it's a key. It's an important factor in fitness, right? So now, granted, meal prepping for, let's just say, like non-athletes. So let's start with those of y'all that are not athletes, right? Meal prepping is a huge thing because for one, you're gonna save money. So in exchange for money, you gotta give time because the time that you're giving is towards you meal prepping. Now, here's what I was talking about with the 5-star restaurant stuff. I was someone who used to meal prep and be like, damn, I gotta have this extravagant meal. So I'm like, damn, I gotta switch it up every week. Okay, what can I make for dinner? All right, let me get some spaghetti. All right, yeah, I'm a little tired of spaghetti. Let me make some baked ziti. I'm gonna make a healthy baked ziti. All right, not gonna do that. All right, let me make a healthy chicken Alfredo. Let me do this with my salmon. Let me do this with my chicken. Let me do this and this and this and this and this. After a while, I was like, yo, this is like, I can't keep doing this. Like, meal prepping is kicking my butt right now. Then after a while, I got smarter. Started working smarter, not harder, right? So, and then I kind of adapted the bodybuilding mindset too. So like, what I mean by that is they eat the same thing on repeat, basically. They change up a few of their macros here, switch up a little bit of what they're eating here and there. But most importantly, it's about getting your protein in, right? And then keeping your fats low and keeping your carbs relatively moderate. You don't want them too high. You don't need a whole lot of stored energy, because all it's going to do is just turn it into fat at the end of the day. You have your leaner proteins, right? So that's like ground turkey, chicken breast, ground chicken. If you're someone who's into ground beef, lean ground beef, like salmon, shrimp, leaner kind of proteins, the ones that don't have a lot of fat to them, right? So once you start adding that kind of stuff into your routine, into your diet, then you turn around and you start figuring out, all right, so what are good carbs? Now, mind you, there's no such thing as bad carbs. It's just everything in moderation, right? You do want to stay away from the processed stuff. So the processed stuff is like the white breads. A lot of us like white breads. A lot of us think white rice is really bad. No, it's not really bad. Do you want to have whole grain rice like brown rice? Yes, because you're getting more fiber, and fiber plus protein, combine those, you drop body fat and you build muscle. It's a little gem there, right? A little gem out of all the big gems I'm basically dropping for y'all. So you gotta think of it like that. Basically, stop with the 5-star meals and you start getting boring with your meal prep, because it's gonna get boring, yes. But you find different ways to kind of spice it up. But you have to eat the same things pretty much all the time. So like right now, right? Using me as an example here again, I'm a little bit of a creature of habit now, to where like I don't mind eating the same thing over and over, mostly because I don't have time to sit here and do some big meal because my day is crazy, right? A lot of us people, regular people who can't afford chefs like athletes and everything, you know, the top 2%, 1%, 5% can do. Our days are hectic, especially if you got kids, your days are hectic. So you gotta think about what's the most efficient way to do things. And the most efficient way to do things is to make sure that you have your foods that you like, and you try to work around that. So, prime example, right? So if everything you do involves chicken breast and salmon, right? So boom, you got your proteins out the way, right? Now it's like, all right, what kind of carbs can I put in here? So better option for carbs: sweet potatoes, potato, white rice, brown rice. Let's say for breakfast, right? Oatmeal, oats is good. Banana is a good carb. You want your berries. Your berries are a great source of carbohydrates also as well, like blueberries. Those are just some examples. So you gotta think of ways to be like, all right, I want to incorporate these things. Now I gotta do it on a daily basis. So as you're doing it on a daily basis and you're sitting there putting your meals together, it's like, come on. This is getting boring. You're like a month in, like I'm getting bored and eating the same thing. But while you're getting bored and your workout plan is actually matching what you're eating, your results are coming. So don't sacrifice the results. Don't sacrifice the results because your nutrition is getting boring. It's gonna be boring. It's gonna be boring. Like right now, you know how many times I've made this breakfast wrap? The one difference that I do, I add some salsa to it. If it's starting to if I don't want to eat the same wrap or feel like I'm eating the same wrap, I put some salsa in there. I give it some flavor, give it a little spice. I do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like just something a little different. But the contents of the meal stays the same. So yeah, I'm still over here chopping up the chicken. I'm almost done. Leave me alone. Got the shit. So it's just finding ways. It's just figuring, it's like plugging holes, right? This is the problem, how can I plug it, fix it, plug this, fix it, plug it, fix it, plug it, and fix it? Because it's not easy. It's difficult at times, but it can be a little simpler. It's all about simplicity. It's for real. All right, there we go. So it's about simplicity. What can you do that's gonna help you sustain the habits, right? Damn, I gotta sneeze. What is the things that can help you sustain the habit? So if you're doing certain things and you know it's not sustainable for you, like if you don't like a meal, stop with the fucking meal. That's what you're forcing yourself into that, right? So let's just put it like this, right? I'm not vegan, right? So even if I have 1 or 2 vegan meals here and there, switch something up and try something different, I'm not gonna force myself to keep trying to eat these same vegan foods, especially to me, if it's not tasting good. I'm not gonna suffer through that just because I'm trying to get a result. Like, I'm not a bodybuilder at the end of the day. I'm an athlete. And then even if I wasn't an athlete, I'm still a human being. Like, I need something that's gonna sustain me. I need something that's gonna be good. So you gotta look at it like that. So you can't fit a circle in a square peg. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta use your brain here too. So you don't need the 5-star, but keep it simple. So that's like my breakfast like right now, right? And if outside of this wrap, I make protein pancakes. It's simple for me. Like on certain days where I know it's gonna be a little more intense, I'm gonna need a little more oomph, so I increase my carb. Let's keep my protein high too. And then I go and attack my workout. Then I attack my day. And I actually feel a lot better. That's the main thing. So putting everything into perspective here, it's like you gotta simplify your life. You gotta simplify it, make it effective, efficient as possible. So, and then once you figure all that stuff out, then you move into your workout. And if you're doing the right intensity for your workout, you combine everything, and now your results are gonna come. But you gotta start with your lifestyle. You gotta start going to bed on time. You gotta start eating properly, meal prepping, recovering properly, making sure your workouts are going right. And then it's a wash, rinse, and repeat. Now, I'm gonna get a little deeper with y'all because I wanna give y'all a little bonus here. Go closer here. You gotta do the inner work too. The inner work is the key. What I mean by that is your mind, your spirit. It's all connected. Wherever the mind goes, the body's gonna go too. So if you have a negative thought about meal prepping or just working out or just anything that's going on in your life, what do you think is gonna happen to your body? Your body's gonna feel that. It's gonna be affected by that. So if you weighing yourself down with your mind, your body's gonna start feeling heavy, start feeling a little sluggish, moving out through the day, like, okay, why am I here? Like, I don't even wanna be here. So now you're doing that kind of thing, and you're setting yourself up for failure off the rip. But if you see challenges as not just obstacles, but challenges that are solvable, I guess I'm phrasing it wrong, but if you're seeing a challenge as something difficult, then you're never gonna get over that challenge. If you see that challenge and you see it as an opportunity to get better, to get over the hump, then that's where the shift happens. A lot of things are gonna be hard. Nothing is gonna be easy. It's not gonna be given to you. So you gotta work for it. You gotta work for it. Yeah, there's all these things out here that we live in a microwavable society. Like, we want everything instant so bad. You're not gonna get it instantly so bad, right? So you gotta bear with it. Now, one thing I will say is, after you get over that hump, then it's like there's a form of gratitude that comes with it. So delayed gratification. Nothing's gonna happen overnight, but if you stack days together, you stack small wins together, you start to see the progress start to come. But you gotta start small. You start small, and then little by little. So do the lifestyle change, do the inner work, and then next you know, a lot of things will start shifting. Chicken is chopped now. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of these peppers in. You don't want to kill all the nutrients in your greens, by the way. Stop cooking your greens to goddamn look like it's burnt. Now, life happens, right? Something might throw you off course. Something might deter you or want to deter you from doing what it is that you want to do. If you take that opportunity to pause for a second, I promise you it's gonna make a big difference. You just gotta pause. You gotta sit down sometimes and just be like, now what's going on here? Why am I feeling like this? This times you have to reassess what's going on in your life. You have to reassess yourself. You have to really look from a lens. You can't do that if you're constantly drowning yourself in work, pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, right? It's not gonna work. So you sitting there, and as you start to think and you start to look, take a step back or a few steps back and look at it from a bird's eye view a little bit, it's like, okay, this is what's going on. How can I get through this? Rather than just ramming my face into the wall, trying to break it down and it's not happening. Okay. All right, let me try going over it. Okay, that didn't work. Can I go around it? No, can't go around it. I gotta go through it. Okay, what tools do I need to break down this wall? And then next you know, it starts to click. It starts to click. So a lot of it is problem solving. So check this out, right? I got a couple clients, right? More than a couple, but I got a few clients that I've had in my lifetime where they struggle with nutrition, whether it be an athlete or a non-athlete. Like, it's, life happens. So what I do is we'll talk about nutrition, and I will openly admit I used to be that trainer that was like, you gotta cut this out, we gotta cut this and this out, and we gotta replace it with this all in one swoop. But all that did was bring them right back to it because it wasn't sustainable enough. Like, the habits didn't match, and the process of like weaning yourself off of stuff didn't match. Now, granted, you gotta do it. Eventually you gotta do it. But I can't force people to be on the type of timing that they need to be on, especially when they're coming to me seeking out their results, right? Okay, let's change little habits first. Let's change these little habits. So, oh, by the way, I put the spinach in now. What I ended up doing was, okay, you like cookies, right? Let's try to find a different sweet tooth option for that. So if you like cookies and cake, let's take those two out and plug something else in. All right, so you drink a lot of coffee. Okay, let's bring the coffee intake down to maybe like 2 or 3 days out the week, right? Instead of 5, 6 days out the week. Or 7 days, because a lot of people, y'all drink coffee like it's going out of style. So let's bring it down some, right? Instead of like 2 or 3 cups in a day, let's start to reduce it to 1 or maybe 2 a day, right? So you start making little habit changes. And then let's spike your water intake back up, because like I said, a lot of us are dehydrated. Let's bring the water intake up, right? So you start making these little changes. I start making these changes with my clients, and then the habits start to come in. The habits start to kind of start picking up traction a little bit. So they start seeing some changes. So my female clients start seeing that their stomach is getting flatter and their booty is getting bigger, because now the program actually is matching their nutrition now. My male clients, their abs are starting to peek through a little bit. Their arms are starting to gain definition. The bicep, their tricep, their shoulders now, right? Their chest is looking a little fuller now, right? They're walking a little more taller. They're walking a little taller now. You're putting clothes on. It's like, damn, like my arms are like almost want to bust out the shirt. So it's things like that, right? It's those kind of things where it's like, all right, the habits and what he's saying is actually making sense, because I know what I'm talking about. But it takes you, the client, the person who's not my client, the athlete that's not my client, to do the work also. The habit changes that you got to see and go after. So if you're just going through the motion of it, if you're not moving with intent to change what you got going on, then you're never going to see the change. You're never going to feel the change. Definitely not going to see it. So what are we doing this for? You're just running yourself into a wall. Again, goes back to the theme. You can't outwork a bad diet. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's counterproductive. But once it does click, you'll start to see it, and then you'll start to understand it. Okay. Let's kind of kick this up another notch, right? Meal prep is starting to go well. Resistance training is starting to go well. But then you hit a plateau. Why is that? Nutrition, it might be the cause of it. Your resistance training can definitely be the reason why you're stalling out too. So if you're someone who is working consistently at 20 or 30 pounds dumbbells, let's just say, right? And you're not seeing any more growth, but you're still hammering away, you're increasing your reps. Why is it not going anywhere? Your body starts to adapt. So you have to go with an overload principle. So what is an overload principle, right? You basically, in one set, let's say you do 15 pounds. The next set, you bump it up by 10, so now you're at 25 pounds. Then from 25 pounds, you're moving up to 30 pounds. That's your progressive overload, right? And then let's say for that last set, right? After you've done, let's say like 3 or 4 sets, maybe I like to save like in 1 or 2 reps for like that, kind of like going to that point where it's like it's heavy and I gotta rep out, right? So I gotta get like my reps in with that heavier weight rather than just hitting it one time. I like to do multiple reps of heavy weights, but that's your overload principle, okay? That's not you. So what's going on is your nutrition and diet is looking great because your stomach is going down, you're seeing results, but you plateaued. It's because you're sitting at the same weight. You're doing the same lifting that you've been doing. And if you're doing all of that, if you're still sitting at the same weight you've been using since you started in the gym, you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. You gotta start increasing the weight. Now, once you start increasing the weight, yes, it's another obstacle to get over because now it's like, oh my God, like I just conquered this weight. Now I gotta go up. Yes, you gotta go up. You gotta go up in the weight. You can't stall. You'll stall out. You'll hit your ceiling, trying to bust through the ceiling, and then you can't get through. So you gotta, in other words, you have to keep adapting. You got to keep evolving, right? You can stay at that weight. You can stay at that same nutrition, yes, but you ain't gonna go nowhere. You're gonna be the same. You're still gonna look and feel the same. So you might be this close. You might be this close to hitting your goal, but you won't go past that. You won't continue to challenge yourself because you're getting tired. You're getting fatigued, mentally fatigued. Mentally, you're blocked, right? And it always comes back to the mental aspect of it. So one thing about the gym, it's gonna tell on you. It's gonna let you know whether you're putting the work in or you're not. There's no sugarcoating, there's no way around it. So if you're someone who is doing the same things over and over and over, but you're not challenging yourself to get better, that delayed gratification part, it stops. Because now you're looking more at it like, I'm over here doing this and I'm not understanding why it's not, like I've done everything right up to this point and I'm still here. Are you changing? Like, did you change your weights? How's your meal going? Did you deviate from the plan? What did your weekends look like the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What is your workout plan looking like? Are you following it to a T? So it's one of those things, right? Because the gym teaches you delayed gratification. The gym teaches you a lot of things about yourself that you got to look at and be like, I'm impatient. A lot of us are impatient. I'm impatient. People around me will tell y'all that I am impatient. Like I want things done ASAP. But it don't work like that. You got the nail and you got the hammer. Just gotta keep hitting it. So you gotta keep chipping away. You gotta keep sculpting. So you got a big boulder in front of you. You gotta keep chipping away at it. chipping away at it. Okay, so these are reps that I use personally. So these is what I use, right? You've probably seen these in your Walmart, Target, wherever, but I use these reps for when I'm doing my breakfast. I'm active, so spinach wraps and all of that stuff, for me, I like spinach wraps, but for me, it's not gonna work. And it's whole grain, so I ain't even tripping. I'm getting my fiber, I'm getting my carbs, I'm getting my protein. That's what matters. Okay, so now we add the eggs in. You gotta think about that too, right? So you gotta challenge yourself. Delayed gratification is only gonna make you feel, it's a long, drawn out process. But if you're patient enough and you're willing to do the work, willing to make the adjustments, willing to go through the fire, right? And push yourself, challenge yourself mentally, physically, spiritually even, then you'll come out on the other side better than where you started. But if you quit halfway through or even before you really truly get started, you'll never see it. You'll never see it. And a person that you know, as a trainer and where I'm at in my life now, if you throw your hands up and quit now, I'm looking at you like, oh yeah, you don't really want this. You ain't really want to be in here. You ain't really trying to work on yourself. You get what I'm saying? I have to do the work. I know a lot of people in my life that have to do the work, not just in the gym, but outside of the gym also. So, and all of us that have done the work, we come out on the other side grateful, appreciative, some level of patience, some level of toughness, some level of being more in tune with ourselves personally. Like, there's a lot of things that come out of it. So you have to go through it. You have to go through the hard times to be able to get on the other side and see the rainbows, see the sunlight. Listen, you gotta weather the storm. And right now, and here's another thing in my life, right? It's now what? It's August 14th, right? Last month in July, so much went down in my life. I was on my way ascending, and a lot of people that I've reached out to, people in my life know, like I was on my way to get my own gym set up, and then it immediately crashed down because of the company I was working with. They didn't tell me all the criteria that I needed, and then when I give them some records and stuff, they change their minds and all this other stuff, right? Even though I had the full plan drawn out to get the funding, right? So that went down. Then in the gym that I was working at, my job outside of my actual training business that I have for myself, the gym that I was working with, they let me go. Yeah, so 2 hitters. Then I had something else going on in my life, multiple other things in my life that happened, and all of July just felt like, what the hell is going on? By the time y'all see this video, it'll be a few days. So let's say August 13th, right? So August 13th, I was able to link up with my god sis, my sister, family, you get what I'm saying? And we had a deep conversation, right? So, and throughout that conversation, it was like, yo, you can't keep putting yourself on the back burner. We're such givers. We want to see other people do right. Those of us who ain't hating and ain't got nothing to worry about. Like, we want to give. We want to see other people do well. So we're up here, and we'll have a tendency of meeting someone here, and then we want to bring their mindset to kind of match ours, and then help them ascend. But meanwhile, we put ourselves on the back burner because we want to see them do great, but then we stall out. We forget about us. And that tends to happen a lot. Like, that's with anything. Like, that's with anything or anyone. Like, we'll put ourselves on the back burner to go help somebody else out, which is great. That's fine and dandy. Like, but you can't neglect yourself. And that's the thing I'm trying to tell y'all right now, right? Your nutrition, you're neglecting your body. You're neglecting yourself because your nutrition is trash. You're neglecting yourself and your body, your mentals, because your gym workouts, you're half-assing them. So, yeah, you might be able to help somebody else out, tell them what you've been doing, but that person ain't you, and you're giving them the tips and everything, but then you're still stalling yourself out because now you can't bring new information and you find yourself repeating the same things over and over and over and over. So you also got to look at it like that from that angle too. And by the way, this is cooking, and I'm about to pretty much flip it, chop it. I'm about to turn the other side of the stove on to start cooking the well, not cooking, but to kind of heat up, warm up the wrap. Okay, as you're going through this, it's like, all right, I'm stalling myself out because I want to help everybody, like, but I also gotta help myself. So how can you help yourself? Do the work. You gotta do the work. You gotta do the work at the end of the day. To bring it back around full circle here, gratification, delayed gratification, patience, mental toughness, physical toughness, you just harden yourself, not to be cold, not to be, you know, an ass, like nothing like that, but you harden yourself to the point where it's like, when anything comes your way, you're able to problem solve it, or at least think it through, and then work your way through it. You know what I'm saying? Not around it, because you can't go around your problems, because the problem's still gonna be there. So you gotta think about it like a video game. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Let's say you get all the way to level 50, or you get to the level 100, and it's whipping your ass. And it's just whipping you down, it's beating you down. And you try to go around it, you try to skip it, you enter a cheat code to skip it. You hit the other level is kind of whipping you, but you're able to get through it. But next you know, level 100 comes circling back around because you didn't address that issue, right? You didn't address that challenge. So you got to take the time to do those things. Whether that's with life, business, the gym, relationships, love, whatever the fuck it is, you got to go through it. And especially if you really, really want it, you're going to work at it. You know what I'm saying? If you're really passionate about it, you're going to find a way through it. Like, no successful business, no successful anything, sport athlete, non-athlete, a 9-to-5 worker, no one is able to get to where they want without some adversity. Like, you're gonna have adversity. It's how you handle that adversity is the thing, right? So the way you handle it, the way you handle any type of situation, it says a lot about you. For me, there was a point in my life where I'd shut down. I wouldn't say anything. I would throw my hands up at certain things and not address them. Now, at the point where I'm at in my life, I'm addressing. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. There's no reason to sugarcoat. And that's the reason why when people meet me for the first time, or they have conversations with me, they see, like, they're like, oh my God, like you don't let nothing bother you or deter you from anything that you want, Because growing up, all I had was me. Like, all I got is me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to do the work for you. Like, and then the next thing you know, I kind of open my clients' eyes, or people that I'm talking to, I open their eyes, and I was like, yes, if you got people in your corner that are rocking with you, rock with them. You know what I'm saying? Go through it with them. Like, they trying to help you out, right? They trying to help you. They trying to guide you. They want to do all the things with you. So you gotta go through it. It's hard enough fucking going through life by yourself. But let's say if you don't have that, you gotta look at it like, all right, this is what's going on. How can I get through it? Because all I got is me. Like, nobody's coming with a handout. So my clients, I break the story down the same way I break things down to y'all here on YouTube, and it gives them a different perspective. I can see it lights a fire under them. The ones that really like take the time out to understand what I'm saying, and not just looking at it like, he's a trainer, he's just trying to motivate me. And yes, I'm trying to motivate you to get you to do what you're supposed to do. My job is to get you the results. My job is to get you to enjoy fitness and understand, like, you know, the importance of taking care of your body, taking care of your mental. But on the same token, you gotta take the lesson that I'm giving you and run with that. Delayed gratification, y'all. Delayed gratification is where it's at. I can reassess my life and the things that I want, revamping my business, what I want out of life. It's on the way. July was a shitty ass month. August is starting out a little shaky as well. But there's a lot of good things to be grateful for, and there's a lot of opportunities that I've had, or that I'm having right now, that is gonna help me propel me to the next level. So look at your life, reassess it, look at your nutrition, your lifestyle, look into your mind, look into your heart, look into your soul, and understand that there's work to be done. None of us are perfect. None of us will ever be perfect. But hey, we can get to close as perfect as possible if we just do the work. You're just going through the motions of daily life. So you gotta understand why you're doing what you're doing and understand where it can lead you. You know what I mean? Get back to the breakfast part here. It's almost done. Today I'm not gonna add any salsa to this. Now I'm over here putting this in here. I'm not gonna add any salsa, like I said. I'm not in the mood for that. I just wanna get my breakfast together. It's 7:45. It's a long day today. And I'll bring y'all in closer so y'all can see the wrap itself. All right, so this is everything here. So you got the spinach, the peppers, my egg. The chicken is in there also as well. So as you can see, oh yeah, it smells good too. That's pretty much everything for today, y'all. I just wanted to share some nutrition advice, help you a little bit with your workouts if you're hitting a plateau kind of thing. Just basically today was just to basically have a conversation, right? Just to talk to you guys, express a few things, share some things from my point of view, right? So, you know, hopefully it resonates with you guys and gals, and understand that life ain't gonna always give you what you want just because you want it. And it took me a while because, you know, like I said, I'm a little stubborn. I can be a little stubborn. I can definitely be a little hard-headed. But I do listen to those that are around me, even though sometimes they don't think that I hear them. I hear them. I listen. I heed what they're telling me. And from there, I take their advice. I look at my life. And I incorporate what they said into what I'm trying to do. Not the end all be all of what they say, but you still gotta do the work. You gotta get through it yourself. You gotta recognize signs and everything like that for yourself. That's pretty much everything, y'all. Did this through the whole time of me making my breakfast. So this video is gonna be a little long, but hopefully I like the longer forms of content. I'm trying to do something a little different here on YouTube. I'm gonna bring y'all some tips and tricks soon on certain specific movements and movement patterns, and trying to like incorporating different exercises to help improve your explosiveness, your power, speed, everything like that, right? I haven't lost sight of it. Life right now is lifing, so it's up and down right now. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I basically gave y'all a video, and I'm getting better with that. Matter of fact, let me do this first real quick. Do it real quick. So now I got my food and everything. Yes, I drank OJ in the morning. Like I said, now I'm about to sit here, watch this podcast, the Coach 'em Up podcast. A lot of knowledge on there, a lot of great guests on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this day off and, you know, put my best foot forward, as y'all should put your best foot forward. With that being said, y'all, go ahead, click the like button, subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel out. I want to get to 500 subscribers. That is the goal right now. And then 1,000. Like I said, I'm going up by 500 increments. So go ahead, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Even share this video with a friend or family member who is struggling in their fitness journey or struggling with the athletic performance, because I'm gonna go ahead and drop a bunch of gems on this channel, okay? I'm gonna help you guys out. And if you're someone who is looking for personal training, looking help with a program, go ahead, click the link in my description, sign up on my website for a consultation. I'm accepting a lot of clients, so go ahead, tap in with your boy. Peace.